Welcome back to the Marathon series in depth. We are back on the Eupfhoria after learning that there is a cyborg that we need to hunt down. How exciting! Eupfhoria is another level created by J. Reginald DeJour that was cleaned up by Greg Kirkpatrick and Jason Jones. The name is clearly a play on the word euphoria that means being in a state of happiness. In some cases, it could be defined as being high. Is Bungie trying to imply that the security officer is having a little too much fun taking out the floor? In the original level design notes, there was a previous level name that was crossed out. It appears to read, "Can't afford it." I like the final name better. This mission can be quite challenging, so sit back and enjoy while I play through the mission for you. Note that this level does have some flashing lights. Not a ton of them, but if they give you some problems, you should probably be aware. Alright, here we are on Eupfhoria. Oops. Anyways, so the level starts as soon as we get through this level, or through the door. What am I getting stuck on? I don't know. So there's some hunters behind these doors. It's best just to open them and take them out. If you proceed past this polygon, like kind of on the edge, they'll wake up. All the doors will open and they'll all wake up. So it's best to open the doors like this. There's another one there. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I took some good damage from this room. There's some bobs being dissected or whatever weird shenanigans the four are up to. There's a couple in here. That was close. Almost died. I'm gonna wait for them all to like clump up right behind the door. Okay, let's see if there's any more. Okay. There's some hunters in here, but I'm gonna go ahead. Okay, they're stuck behind that door. Okay, there's a couple hunters in here I gotta take out before I can... Okay, took out these hunters and then we can heal. I got that one close for sure. There's the marathon. Isn't it beautiful? Okay, let's use a few. There's another hunter that's stuck. Don't ask me why, because I don't know why. There's obviously something I'm gonna guess Reginald was doing wrong when he placed some of these hunters on these ledges. Maybe the ledge is too small or something, I don't know. Seems to be a common occurrence on these 4 levels though. Okay, we're going back in a small hallway, so we're gonna go back to our assault rifle. Did he die? Oh, okay. So if we're going there, there's a secret door right here. Okay. There's another one in here. Oh, no, there's not. Okay, but in here, there's a little door. The wasps. Isn't that tricky? They got a bunch more ammo. Do we really have 19 napalm canisters? Oh my gosh. Wow, we are loaded. We are so loaded. We're gonna go back and heal. There's a nice little teleporter there. Alright, let's continue. Alright, give me that 4 weapon. Okay, let's clear out this room down here. We're gonna save these rooms off to the side for later. Might as well use a rocket. Oh my gosh. What did my computer just do there? Wait, where's that? Oh, there it is. Okay. There's a save up here, so that's why I'm heading up here. Go ahead, save it, and then there's a ton of enemies we will face. Okay, you ready to die? There's still a lot of enemies in this level. Look at this. We're just using, you know, the door to clump them up, you know, nothing too crazy. Oh, get out of here. I'm not sure, that might be all the enemies on this level. I think we cleared out the level. Nice job. So now we cleared out the level, so I'm just gonna go save it. We'll go heal and then we'll teleport off. Oh wait, where's the enemy? I don't know. So if you don't want to teleport off, it's safe to stay in this little area, but if you stand over here, you'll teleport. The song for this mission is Rapture, which we first heard on 2x2 =. The enemy lineup in the original level design notes include Juggernauts, Enforcers, and Troopers. The final lineup is completely different. There was a word crossed out, which is a bit difficult to make out. Perhaps the word assimilated was starting to be written before being crossed out. If you open the map with the map editor, you will find the word Magnesium flares are cool. When magnesium burns, it creates a very bright white light and it cannot be put out with water. Because of this, as you would imagine, magnesium flares are extremely bright. This doesn't have much to do with the level, but someone must have been fascinated by them at the time and decided to add the map writing. My guess would be Greg, but who knows. The start of the mission is really quite challenging, but the mission gets considerably easier once you reach the ×3 shield recharge station. Even then, you have to make it through most of the level to reach the pattern buffer so you are not home free. I would recommend using some effective strategies to take as little damage as possible to make it through this one on Total Carnage. You start the mission in a room standing on what appears to be a teleport pad. The room has a floor and ceiling with windows to space. It is a nice way to start the level. The next room through the door can be quite challenging. There are a few wasps that are easy enough to take out. The center of the room features some more of the Bob prisoners in their underwear. Someone should get these poor Bobs out of that nasty green goo. Anyways, this room has several doors to the sides with hunters inside. On each side of the room, there are a couple of glue polygons that will work to activate the 4 hunters behind the doors. You have a few options here. One is you can just run through and try to make it to the ×3 shield recharge station. Another is to take out the wasps and manually open the hunter closets one at a time without activating the hunter polygons. This is probably the standard strategy to make it through. The last strategy is to just skip the monster closets entirely. You're probably asking me, how could I do that? Let me explain. At the start of the level, if you open the door on either the left or right side, you will be just outside of the sleeping wasp's vision cone. This allows you to get into the room without fighting right away. For whatever reason, I found the left side to be easier. Anyways, if you shoot the wasp and wake them up, you can immediately safely pass the glue trigger without the hunters waking up. Tree Llama explained to me that this is because Marathon 1 activations are restricted to once per second when it comes to triggers. It's really quite strange, but it does make this level much easier if you are able to skip these 4 hunters. Vidmasters should take note. After making it through the first room, your next challenge is at the bottom of the elevator. This is also where you will find the first must-see polygon, as this is an exploration type mission. The polygons are spread throughout, forcing you to pretty much see the whole map. Anyways, this room has another glue trigger that cannot be easily avoided like the first room. There are some more hunters inside a closet and several wasps waiting for you around the corner. You have a few options here. One is to take your time and try to limit how many enemies you fight at once. You don't have a lot of room to dodge, so you will probably end up taking some damage. Another option is to activate the glue trigger and then run up the elevator and force the hunters to slowly come up to you one at a time. This is effective, but it is the wussy way to fight and not fit for someone of the security officer's stature. A third option is to just run through the room and skip most of the hunters entirely. This is probably the most effective way to get through. You will almost certainly take some hits from a hunter and wasps along the way, but you should have plenty of health to keep running all the way to the shield recharge station. Anyways, after this little chap, there was a small room with a window to outer space. What you might not know is this is actually the first possible exit from the level. There is another window outside the small room where you can see the Marathon. This begs the question, why can't you see the Marathon in the small room then? The two windows are actually very different, as one in the small room can be shot through while the other can't. My guess is one of these two windows were added later on by Jason Jones or Greg Kirkpatrick. The next room has a big drop-off with a ton of wasps and a few hunters. Your best bet is to either draw the wasps out or to jump down and immediately go through the door on the right. Wasps can't open doors, so they will get stuck behind you. Going through the door leads to a couple of hunters and the times 3 shield recharge station. The room also features a window out to the Marathon with another possible exit off the level. Depending on where you stand, part of the Marathon can be cut off due to some issues with ceiling heights. Oops! The hallway leading to this room has a small window where you can't see the Marathon, which is, once again, odd. This window also offers another possible exit from the level. There is some discussion about changing the player height on the Marathon story page in order to get out of the window. This sounds cool, but it really isn't all that special. There is actually a Lua script you can enter into the Allophone console that will allow the player to teleport outside. You can actually use this for both of the windows on this level. It really doesn't give you anything impressive to see though. Sometimes the mystery is more interesting than the truth. Back to the room we came from, this room offers a drop-off with a large column in the center that goes all the way to the ceiling. Who knows what it is for, but it adds some eye candy. If you do happen to drop off, there's an elevator you can ride back up on. If you happen to run through the last room, the hunters from earlier will have likely deactivated, as they don't have a way to jump across after you when you went to charge your shields. Interestingly, there was one unresponsive hunter on the ledge in the corner of the room. Somebody messed up. To proceed on, you have to run along the edge of the wall up to the door. This leads you to a skinny hallway with green walls and eventually to a door. Before going through the door, there is a secret room on the left, with some enemies and ammo inside. Interestingly, there is a small door that will open with a trigger polygon that reveals a wasp inside. How strange. Anyways, why is there ammo on the 4 ship? They must have carried some of it on board and hidden it in this room. Perhaps they are studying it. Going through the door to the next area leads to a large, long room that intersects with other rooms. This is where we start encountering some of the enforcers. Anyways, right by the door is a teleporter that goes back to the shield recharge station. Go back and heal up as needed. The hallways off to the right leads to some large rooms with lots of sleeping wasps and enforcers. It makes you wonder what this place is. Is this where they sleep or something? Anyways, if you ignore these areas for now and go to the north, there is a room with the hound textures. It is a good idea to come here first through this small room with the pattern buffer at this location. Best to save up before facing the far army. Interestingly, this room with the hound textures also has a hound placement location. It's too bad that the hounds didn't make it into the final game. Anyways, the rooms with the large sleeping armies are not that interesting. There is a door you can go through to the north to get behind some of the sleeping wasps, but that is about as interesting as it gets. What is interesting though, is that you can skip fighting all these enemies. There are a few polygons you need to see. First, to the north of the pattern buffer is a hallway with one of the must-see polygons. This one has a bunch of wasps in the polygon, but if you only peek around the corner a little, you can skip facing these wasps. Another of the must-see polygons is in a small room all the way to the south. This room isn't where the big army is. The final 2 must-see polygons can be seen by looking over one of the 2 southernmost ledges. Either one works. Don't worry, the sleeping army won't wake up unless you shoot your gun. For whatever reason, they all have their backs turned from the ledges. This is actually the case no matter which way you approach the sleeping army from. Anyways, after you peek at all 3 of these locations, you can go ahead and leave the level. Although, are you really going to skip killing all these lovely enemies? Well, that's it for this mission. See you all next time on Euphoria, where we'll be continuing our journey on the Sphera.